I'm the Depressed Dior, and this is Arkham Horror the card game, doing the Scarlet Keys. We're at Constantinople. Um, Between videos, I was definitely kind of considering my routing. If I knew more about how Alexandria worked, because the Alexandria is another location I haven't been to and haven't done the scenario for. I think the better routing would have been going from Rome to Alexandria, then Constantinople, and then maybe looping back this way to pick up the item at Ybor City and then go to Buenos Aires. But since I don't know that information, I'll be going with Constantinople since I know how much time at least that goes. As for my planning, I made my planning assuming that Alexandria is going to cost me 3 time, because any of the scenarios you do can cost you anywhere from 1 to 3 time depending on the scenario as well as what result you get. So, with that in mind, I'm also not planning on trying to get to Tunguska before 35. I'm not planning for that. Instead, I'm just going to try to maximize how much I can get done before I inevitably get yanked over there anyway. All right, that is 7. Should be this one. All right. Is this the one? Yep. Dealings in the dark. Not sure why I was on 37M, but okay. All right. Dealings in the dark. Goals cry out as you cross the Galata Bridge. What many would call the link between the traditional city of Constantinople and the districts of Galata, Bioglou, Sicily, and Harbi. I don't know how to pronounce some of these words. I apologize. Harbiye, where a large proportion of foreign merchants and diplomats live and work. Since you know where you are headed, and time and secrecy are of the essence, you decide against hiring a translator and head directly to the Suli Manini complex, where the target of your investigation, a Miss, I believe I got to pronounce it, AJ Shaheen, supposedly works. Miss Shaheen has made a name for herself in several fields of academia, specifically in the fields of antiquity and art history. According to your intel, she works as a curator in the recently established Turkish and Islamic Arts Museum. But to your surprise, your case files include a wealth of other information about Miss Shaheen, from her schooling all the way back to her early life. All of this points to one of 2 conclusions. Either she is not hiding like the other members of the coterie, or she has crafted an extensive cover story. According to your intel, Ms. Shaheen has already reached out to the Foundation by way of an offer of introduction. It could be a trap, but if she truly wishes to meet, you can't turn down such an opportunity. Thankfully, her office is not too difficult to find. The door marked with her name and full title in Turkish and several other languages. You knock, and she bids you to enter, which you do with much caution, eyes instinctively darting to every one of the room's corners and hiding places. The room is warm and richly decorated. The walls covered in beautiful tapestries and paintings of many styles, ranging from hundreds of years old to very recent, and shelves filled to the brim with a variety of colorful ceramics, glassware, and old musty texts. Greetings, Ms. Shaheen says with a warm smile. With a warm smile that seems to brighten the room. She is a young woman with dark tan skin, hazel eyes, and the wispy figure of one who has spent her entire life in academia. What can I do for you? You inform Ms. Shaheen that you received her earlier communication and her desire to meet with you, which she takes a moment to interpret before her eyes go wide. Oh, so you are... She clears her throat, does not finish the train of thought. I see. Then, in that case, please sit down. We have much to discuss. You tell Ms. Shaheen that she can start by explaining her involvement with the coterie. Your eyes catch her shifting uncomfortably in her seat at the mention of the organization's name. The coterie is involved with a great many things all over the world, as you likely already know, she says, choosing her words delicately. But our goals are not so different from your own. I have spent many years as a researcher for the organization, searching for the very same things your employers seek. objects of arcane power that can be used to defend humanity from the threats we cannot see. Read only if you have at least one key bound to Investigator. We have 2. You reveal your key and show it to Ms. Shaheen, wondering if this is one of these artifacts she speaks of. I see you already in possession of one such object. Where did you acquire this? You tell Ms. Shaheen that you recovered this key before one of her colleagues could cause further harm with it. Key? Is that what you call them? Interesting, but not surprising. They have been called many things by many people throughout human history. Your terminology is apropos. They are the key to unlock power from other realms, power enough to save the world or to doom it. Or to control humanity, you note aloud. Ms. Shaheen sighs. You are not wrong, but I assure you not all of us within the coterie would use them for such purposes. There are those like myself who wish only to use them for the good of others. You ask Ms. Shaheen why you should trust her, given the actions of the coterie and other places around the world. Ours is not an organization with a leader or a hierarchy, she explains. We operate independently in furtherance of our unified goal. But some, she swallows hard with a shudder, some employ methods I do not agree with. Methods which disgust and, if I'm being wholly honest, terrify me. You still don't know if Ms. Shaheen is telling the truth, but there's no point in not hearing her out. You ask her what the situation in Constantinople is and why she has sought an audience with the Foundation. Istanbul, she corrects you. The people of Istanbul no longer refer to this city by that name. You make a note to yourself to refer to the city only as Istanbul from here on out. One of the relics you have been searching for is here in Istanbul. It is one I have been seeking for many years, a talisman bound to a powerful entity, what some might call a genie. Or in the traditional sense, the only kind of non-human entity with the capability to exercise free will. Judging from Ms. Shaheen's clinical definition, you wonder aloud if Ms. Shaheen believes this to be true. A genie? No, I do not believe the talisman is bound to a genie. I suspect its master is something even more powerful and inhuman. Something not of Earth at all, and the two of us are not the only ones looking for it. After the Great War and the dismantling of the Ottoman Empire, many records were thrown into chaos, but many more emerged from obscurity, including those pertaining to this talisman. The other group searching for it, the things they have done in search of this knowledge, her face pales, she struggles to keep her composure. They'll do anything to get their hands on it. Murder and torture are just tools to them. I hate to think of what sort of heinous acts these villains would commit if they managed to obtain it. And the worst part is, I believe one of my cohorts may be the one pulling the strings. I'm so close to finding it, but if they find it first. You understand now why Ms. Shaheen came to you. If one of the coterie is behind the cult's actions, she could not go to them with this information. Still, lingering doubt toils in your mind. Please, she pleads with you. Find a talisman before this cult does. I do not wish to see what entity it is they worship. I'll do what I can to help you if you place the talisman into my care afterward. In return, I promise never to relinquish it to the control of the other, more dangerous members of my organization. It will remain safe and tethered in my control. I cannot guarantee the same should you wield it yourself. Please, we are on the same side, I assure you. So we will trust her. So we'll go, all right, we will find it and place it in your care. Proceed to enter too. AJ lets out a long breath, visibly relieved. Thank you. I will admit I wasn't sure if I could trust you. It is a comfort to know that our two organizations can work together when lives are at stake. After all, we share the same goal. She rises to her feet and shakes your hand. You ask Ms. Shaheen where you should begin searching. The last written account of the talisman's existence was during the city's conquest in the 15th century. It was likely hidden in order to keep the invading Ottomans from finding it. After that, it remained hidden for many long years. It was not but a fable spoken of in hushed voices and whispers, but due to recent events, well, it would not surprise me if the recent Allied occupation of the city had something to do with this sudden interest in finding it. But let us not get buried in conjecture. I would begin looking in places that were not sacked by the conquering army. The university may also be a useful resource for you. As for me, I am not particularly helpful in a fight if it comes to that, but I can provide you with aid in my own way. Record that the cell is working with AJ. All right, it's also asking us to remove a Elder Thing and add a tablet token. We already have 4, so we will not add it. Instead, we'll only gain 1 experience. Putting Jacqueline at 2 and Ursula at 1. So now we're getting the payoff for that. All right, proceed to setup. All right, doing all this. Okay, based on how much time has passed, the amount of time that has passed right now is 19. So with 19 time, we place clues on the unveiling equal to the number of investigators. I have done this with the highest amount where you put in double. I was able to keep up with it pretty well with playing Daisy and Stella, with Daisy, of course, having the Necronomicon and Library Pass at that point. So hopefully it should be fine with the pacing we have and less clues to worry about. So I do have 2 clues already placed on this. We'll go ahead and read about this. The unveiling, after 1 or more doom is placed on a cultist enemy, flip them to their clue side. If an enemy has more than 3 clues on it, move the clues in excess of 3 to clues unveiled below. The number of clues possessed by the cult is equal to the total number of clues on cultist enemies in play, plus the number of clues on the clues unveiled below. All right. Anything else? Yes, there's other things. Since we're working with AJ, or if we're deceiving her, we can give AJ to someone's control. I'm gonna give her to Ursula. All right. So AJ, the Vermilion Veiled Lady, ally conspirator, has 2 health, 3 sanity. As a lightning bolt, you can exhaust her to look at the top card of any investigator's deck. If it is not a weakness, you can place it face down beneath her. Limit 5 cards beneath her. Forced, after any key is shifted, the owner of each card beneath AJ draws the card. Why do you suppose the keys have not been erased? So yeah, this is essentially a free card draw in most cases, because what you can do is, of course, just as long as you have a key to activate, you can gradually grab these things. It also is a great way of just seeing what your top card is. If it happens to be a weakness or something, you can always try to find a way to shuffle your deck before you draw again. Besides all of that, everything else is... Oh, actually, we do need to resolve the starting thing here. Each investigator draws the enemy they discarded, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I do need to resolve that final part, but it's going to be after we draw our cards. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle. I shouldn't have shuffled the deck. Well, I'll shuffle. Actually, no, I do need to shuffle the deck. So I'll shuffle the deck right now. Actually, before we do that, I need to add the Red Glove Man, because he's a bad man and wants to follow us around. All right. So there's only one agenda. It's Agenda 1A, Agents of the Dark. The cult operating in Istanbul is secretive and deadly, with eyes everywhere and ears in every dark corner of the city. Each non-weakness cultist enemy gains Concealed 1. After you evade a cultist enemy, return it to the shadows and resolve its concealed keyword. Take control of 1 of its clues. 4 doom to advance. There are 2 acts. Search for the manuscript. According to Ms. Shaheen, the talisman has been hidden somewhere in the city for many hundreds of years. You must not let it fall into the cult's hands. Objective, find the talisman before the cult does. If either the cult or investigators at any location possess the requisite number of clues as a group, advance. Do not spend the clues. So, as mentioned, it's going to be all the clues on the unveiling plus any clues that are on any cultist enemies. So you generally want to kill the cultists before they start accumulating clues to start putting on the unveiling, because obviously anything that's on an unveiling pretty much just stays there. We're going to be starting at Hagia Sophia, Istanbul. Originally built as a cathedral, the Hagia Sophia Grand Mosque is one of the most iconic buildings in the entire world and the epitome of Byzantine architecture. Having survived the city's numerous transformations throughout the ages, this holy place may contain a wealth of information pertinent to your investigation if you know where to look. And then the tokens. Skull is -X, where X is the highest number of clues on a cultist enemy in play to a maximum of 3. If the act is Act 3, X becomes 3 no matter what. Cultist is -5. If you may place a doom on a nearest cultist enemy to change this token modifier to -1. Do note, because of the rules of this scenario, it would immediately turn into a clue. tablet is -3 if you fail. Place one of your clues on your location. And then the other thing, which we don't have any, is -2 if you fail. You place a doom on the nearest cultist enemy. All right. Also, we did pass through Rome. And Rome is... We are going to be starting with one additional resource for this run. So I will go ahead and add that one resource here, and then I'm going to put a break in the video, so BRB. Alright, well, good thing I put a break in the video. I did make a mistake, and I'm honestly kind of glad I did, because I definitely wanted to restart. I drew every enemy within the first couple of turns. I literally, there was no chance. I'm pretty sure the reason why I did so well on my first run of this with Daisy was purely because I had Necronomicon and then that card that restores all the charges and all that. Because holy crap, this, like, I couldn't do anything. It was just like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. Oh, by the way, there's Ancient Evils in the deck as well. Jacqueline Fine's ability was no match for the bad luck I had. Like, it was like, here, you know, have your 2 cultist and auto-fail tokens. So you fail anyway. So yeah, needless to say, I'm a bit salty. But I did make a mistake, and rewinding would have been too much of a pain in the ass. So I'm just going to take the mulligan and see if I can do slightly better. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Daisy did a lot better purely because of Necronomicon, because she can just grab all the clues and reveal all the hidden cards like a lot more easily. So yeah, the biggest issue is you're just getting swarmed, and unfortunately, Concealed doesn't exactly scale. Also, I failed Whisperers of Doom like twice in a row, which also didn't help. This is a better starting hand than the previous one, that's for sure. In fact, I kind of want to keep it. Yeah, I'm actually okay with this. I can literally do Arcane Initiate, Voice of Ra into Breath of the Sleeper, and just go to town at that point. Yeah, I think that is okay. I could just do Arcane Initiate into Breath of the Sleeper and then just help with actually removing cards. So, alright, so yeah, I'll just keep that hand. Shuffle this deck, and deal to orange. Okay, starting with the red clock is nice. I did start with Antikythera, and it did help. It just unfortunately was not enough. For now, I'm actually okay with not having the medical student. We do have the Blast Blossom to help deal with Stupor, if I happen to run into it. So let's tag those out, and then draw the other 2. Speaking of Stupor, I mean, as a positive note, I didn't ever draw a Stupor, even when I got down to 2 cards. So yeah, getting Wit and Green early is fantastic. This first round's going to be... God, there's a lot of good cards in there. Alright, well, let's go ahead and flip the... Oh, actually, we need to do this now. So we get a cultist. So first one is going to be this guy. So these guys. 2 fight, 4 evade, 3 health. Humanoid cultist alert at the end of the enemy phase. If Sinister Aspirant is ready, place 1 Doom on it. I have seen the Dark Universe Yawning, where the black planets roll without aim. Hits for 1 horde. These guys are the worst. As long as they're still in the shadow, they're just going to accumulate Doom, aka clues. And there's not much you can do about it until you get them out of there. Once you get them out of there, they're a little bit easier to deal with, but good luck on that. Alright, so I do know, as far as nearby locations, the obelisk here has lower shroud, so I'm going to go with that one. Put them down there. And then for Ursula, that is thankfully not a cultist. Also, we drew Red Glove Man like almost immediately, so I had to deal with him as well. It's just all bad all the time. Yeah, holy crap, look at this. it's like the opposite of what I had when I was drawing. Like I had every single bad guy. Acolyte. This will start with a clue on him. So the thing about acolytes is they don't have letters labeling them. So whenever you do reveal an acolyte, you can actually pick which one you want to reveal, which can be kind of helpful. So in fact, with that in mind, I actually will go ahead and put one up here. I'm kind of okay with leaving the acolyte alone for now. It's an aspirant. Anything that can accumulate doom/clues every turn is definitely the big thing. All right, this card gets shuffled back in. Shuffle this, and let's calm down and push the boulder. All right, 2 Shroud, 2 clues. Hagia Sophia gets +3 Shroud for each study token on it. As an action, you can place 2 clues in Hagia Sophia from the token pool, place 1 resource on it as a study token. I have never done this. There's enough clues to get 8 pretty easily, so I don't see a reason to ever do this. So yeah, it is what it is. Well, actually, there is a reason to do it. There's that card where you can spend a clue to not take damage. All right. So with all that in mind, I'm gonna go ahead and start with Jacqueline. I'm going to get out Arcane Initiate. I will take the Horror. I'm gonna search top 3. I'll take this Rite of Seeking and try to not get that weakness. The random weakness that Jacqueline has is actually really bad, because if that weakness is out and then she gets her exclusive weakness, she has no way of actually getting rid of her exclusive weakness. So it's actually a really bad combination. So honestly, for this group, I've actually drew pretty poorly on the basic weakness front. All right, next I'm going to go ahead and spin 3 to do a Breath of the Sleeper. And then last action, I am going to go ahead and just attack. So it's going to be versus the Shroud value, so it's going to be 5-2. And we'll see how it goes. So I can place a Doom on a nearest cultist enemy to change that token modifier to -1. I will go ahead and do that for the regular cultist here. Alright, so it's a -1, so I do pass, and I'll reveal a decoy. Okay. Yeah, I drew so many enemies that I ended up having like 3 Shroud cards or concealed cards on top of my locations. It was just really, really hard to keep up with. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do a Lightning Bolts and use AJ here to look at top card and put it face down here. I'm going to go ahead and spin 3 to get out Wit and Green. I'm going to go ahead and gain a and then I'm going to spin 2 to get out Red Clock. And then I'm going to go ahead and investigate this location 5-2. We pass. I will reveal this card. It is a decoy. Okay, so we now know where both of them are at. So that's the good news. Enemy phase. At the end of the enemy phase, this guy is readied, so he is going to get a Doom/Clue. And then we go to upkeep. Eyes of the Dreamer. Another Pathfinder. Pathfinder will be kind of useful. First Doom. It's going to search because I have no clues. And we get this guy. That's fine. I will take 2 damage. I'm going to split the damage between these 2. Okay. The fact that, so yeah, like literally the first 2 turns I drew back-to-back enemies. So it just, like I said, it just swarmed me. So Jacqueline, you could, in theory, get some work done. I will start with... I do want to start with Ursula, though. So Ursula, let's go ahead and place one of these. So if I first skill check, will do things. As much as I would love to get clues here, I'm not going to. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and, against my better judgment, gain 2 resources then spend all 3 to get out Pathfinder. Then I'm going to Pathfind move down to here. Obelisk Theodosius, originally brought to the city from Egypt by the Romans, the obelisk looms ominously over Sultan Nahamet Square. Its inscription commemorates the triumphs of conquerors past. 3 shroud, 2 clues. After you fail a skill test while investigating here, move one of your clues to the nearest cultist enemy. Victory 1. So I'll go ahead and use Wit and Green. Search top 9. I will take the segment of Onyx. Thank you. Yeah, Pin to the Queen was not enough to save me. Actually, my luck with Pin to the Queen has been terrible this campaign. I just don't draw them. I'll go ahead and use my ability to investigate. This will put us at 5-3. I don't have any clues, so there's no risk of that front. I pass. I'll go ahead and reveal this guy and get out the Sinister Aspirant. So at the very least, I can just safely get punched by that guy. Okay. Jacqueline, search top 3. I'll take the Breath of the Sleeper and try to keep that weakness down on the bottom of the deck. Alright. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and move up to the Istanbul University, housing faculties of theology, arts, mathematics, and science, as well as other recent additions. The newly reconstituted university is as prestigious as its campus is beautiful. If there's anywhere in the city that you'll be able to find information regarding relics from its past, it's here. 4 shroud, 2 clues. As an action, you can do willpower or intelligence 6. If you succeed, you can take control of 1 clue from this clues unveiled. Max 1 success per game. Victory 1. All right. Next, I'm going to go ahead and try to punch this thing. It's going to be 5-4 with the Breath of the Sleeper. I am going to go ahead and spend 3 charges. Okay. I'll take the -1, and then since I canceled the Elder Sign, I will draw a card. More importantly, I go ahead and reveal the Acolyte and say hi to him. Alright, next I'm going to go ahead and attack with Breath of the Sleeper. I'll use my ability with this. This will just be 5-3. I'll commit a Fearless to go 9-3. Or sorry, 7-3. Oh, sorry, I need to reveal all of them. Okay, I'll take the -1. I pass by enough to heal 2 horror, and I kill this guy. Okay, not the worst situation. Enemy phase, I am going to get hit for 1 horror, which I'll put on Wit and Green. Attacking during the enemy phase does exhaust it, so it's not going to be ready at the end of the enemy phase, so it doesn't get a Doom. Upkeep. I did shuffle, but it didn't care. Alright, that's going to suck. Well, we got Working the Hunch. Got all that going for us. Do all the things. Mythos, second Doom. There are no enemies in the shadows. I will put a Doom on this enemy, which will turn into a clue. So Light of the Void is a peril. You must choose either put a Doom on the cultist enemy in play with the highest evade value or take 1 damage and 1 horror. If the investigators possess more clues than the cult, or if it is Act 3, resolve this revelation ability a second time. Right now, they have more clues than me. Locked door. We got some options for this one. This one's actually kind of annoying. I'm going to go ahead and just put it here. Alright. Investigation phase. I will start with Ursula, but at the start of the turn, Jacqueline will lightning bolt to take a look at top 3 cards. Oh my god, my other weakness. Go to hell, game. Let's take the Spectral Shield. That means I had back-to-back weaknesses. Cool, good game. As a lightning bolt, I'll also take a look at the top card here and put it here. And then place this, which should have been done first. I will do the move actions. These aren't, or I'll do the moves. After you reveal location, or put a new one in play. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move through Galata, just so I can reveal it. The ancient Galata Tower looms over this well-traveled district, where tourists and residents intermingle. You pass several embassies, warehouses, and commercial buildings for businesses, both local and foreign. One of the district's older buildings may have once hid the talisman, perhaps even the famed Galata Tower itself. 3 shroud, 2 clues. As a lightning bolt, spend 3 resources. Parlay, expose a concealed mini card at any location. Group limit once per round. So I'll move here. Since I revealed a location, I will go ahead and use wet and green. Search top 9. I did get a relic. There we go. Antikythera. I am going to keep moving though, and move to here. I will go ahead and activate my ability to investigate 5 to 4. I will provoke an attack, which I'll put on wet and green. I will spend 1 to do a practice makes perfect and search top 9. I'll take a deduction. Okay, so that puts me at 6 to 4. We'll commit a Rite of Seeking and a Working Hunch. So that'll bring me up to 10, or not 10. Say 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm 9 to 4. Actually, that was not even action. That's right. It was from right clock. Okay, we passed. I can move to another location. I'm not going to. I am going to grab the 2 clues here. Deduction will go into my hand. This will get discarded. This will get discarded. Okay. Since I got all the clues here, I'll go ahead and do crack the case to get 4 resources. I'll spend 1 to go ahead and get out Segment of Onyx. And then I will try to evade this guy. During a skill test at your location. I will go ahead and do this. I will make it so she's testing at 6. And I'll 6, and then we will, since I shifted a card, I get to draw these 2 cards that were underneath AJ. I'll commit a Pathfinder. So this puts us at 7 to 4. Yeah, 7 to 4. Highest clue amount on a cultist enemy is 2, so I do pass. So he's now evaded. If I want to, I could steal one of his clues. I am not going to do that, because I do not want to reconceal them. Okay, so I got that going for us. I can do a 7 to 6 test, but I don't trust that. I'm going to go ahead and do a Pathfind move back this way. I'm going to go ahead and investigate this location and commit a deduction and a perception. That'll put me at 8 to 3. We pass. We'll get both clues here. And draw a card. I'm going to spend 1 to get out Segment of Onyx. And then last action, Oh, actually, no, I'm not going to fast out the Segment of Onyx. Last action, I'm going to spend 3 to get out Antikythera, which I should have done in the first place. That's okay. Alright, meanwhile, over here with Jacqueline. I'm going to spend 3 to get out a Shriveling. I'll spend 1 to fast out a Spectral Shield. I'm then going to go ahead and blast this Sinister Spirit with a Shriveling. 7 to 2. I will take 1 Horror, which gets soaked. And I'll try again. Do 2 damage. And then I'll use my ability to try to get rid of this thing. 7 tokens. Nope. This thing's going to stay on here the entire game. I'm just going to call it right now. Yeah, we have 20 Chaos tokens. So I don't even go through half the bag now. Enemy phase. Enemy is exhausted, thankfully. He'll engage me during the upkeep. And then we go to Mythos, third Doom. Cool, I get another one of these. There's a cultist enemy in play, so place a Doom on him, so he gets a clue. And then I have to do a willpower based off its fight value, so it's going to be 4 to 2. That puts us at 5 to 2, so I pass by 3. But unfortunately, I can't use Antikythera here because there's no clues to get. But I do pass the check. Alright, investigation phase. I'm going to go ahead and start with Ursula. I am going to go ahead and take a look at top card. Sure, we'll put that there. I'm going to Pathfind move down to here. I will use my ability. This is going to put us at 5 to 3. We will go 6 to 3 with deduction. And hope it's enough. Just barely. So we do get both clues here. And it was passed exactly, so I don't get anything extra. Alright, I will spend 1 to get out the Segment of Onyx. I'm going to go ahead and move to here next. I'm going to go ahead and... So I move. I'm going to go ahead... Oh, actually, sorry, I forgot to place this. I should have another action. Alright, so I move. So I moved with Pathfinder, investigate with my ability, and moved again, so that's I've used 1 action so far. I'm going to go ahead and draw a card. And then I'm going to draw a card. And then I'm going to try to pick the lock. I'll commit an Unexpected Courage. This will bring us to 6 to 4. We pass by 2. And I get to gain a resource and draw a card with Antikythera. There's my stupor. Alright. So luckily we have that last blossom to fix that. Okay. Meanwhile, over here, Ancient and Arcane Initiate, search top 3. I will take the Ward of Protection. Okay, next I'm going to go ahead and do a Breath of the Sleeper, 5 to 2. I will have to take that as a fail, because if I give him a clue, it's going to get put into the thing. Alright, try again, 5 to 2. Now he's dead. Alright, next I'm going to go ahead and do Voice of Ra, and gain a resource, and I'm not going to use my ability with it. Alright, I get 4 resources, bringing me up to 6. And then I'll use my ability at the end of the round to do Dark Future. Yeah, this thing's never going away. Alright. No enemies on the board. Yet. We'll go enemy phase, upkeep, Arbiter of Fates, which is not going to be helpful for now. Got Eureka. Got the Mythos. We do advance. In a shadow of void light, the daylight dims and you strain your eyes to examine why. A strange black shape has begun to crawl its way over the outline of the sun and eclipse. Whatever this cult is up to, you better stop it soon. In player order, each investigator must choose either place 1 clue from the token pool on clues unveiled, or search the encounter deck and discard pile for a cultist enemy and draw it. If no cultist enemy is found, place 1 clue on clues unveiled instead. Shuffle the encounter deck if it is searched. For each eclipse that was on this agenda, an investigator must resolve the above effect in additional time. And then you flip it back over and add a resource to it as an eclipse. Okay. Since we're actually doing okay on tempo, I am going to go ahead and just put the clues down. And then we'll put a resource down. Okay. And then we keep on going. Okay, got the eclipse. And a mysterious chanting, so we do get to spawn a acolyte of some sort. I will search, encounter deck or discard pile. I will search the encounter deck and grab ourselves an acolyte, which will turn into a clue. And this will put an acolyte somewhere in here. And one of you guys. Okay. Alright. Investigation phase. I'm going to go ahead and move with Jacqueline. So how much does this do? What, 1 horror? Yeah. Alright. Next, I'm going to go ahead and do actually, as a lightning bolt, AJ is going to go ahead and take a look at top card. It is a weakness, so I can't put it on there. Okay. I move over. I'm going to go ahead and do Last Blossom. This is going to heal 1 damage and 1 horror to every investigator at this location. So we'll heal the horror off the stupor and heal the damage. And unfortunately, nothing for Jacqueline. All right. Next, I'm going to go ahead and search top 3. I will grab the Shriveling. Then I'm going to Breath of the Sleeper this location, 5 to 2. We pass just barely. It is not a decoy, it is an acolyte, which means this goes away. Okay. I'll go ahead and try to punch this thing, 5 to 3. We pass just barely and kill it. And then I'll use my ability and try to get rid of this thing. 4, 5... Oh, thank God. We got rid of it. We're good for... Now we can get the other weakness without any issues. Alright, Ursula. Let's get to work here. We're going to go ahead and investigate this. First, I'm going to take all the resources off this. Putting this at 5. I am going to go ahead and spin 3. Actually, I will investigate first. We'll go 5 to 2. Good. 5 to 2. Good. And that's 8 clues. Just barely. I will go ahead and do the crack the case to get 2 resources. And the moment we do this, you immediately advance. You do not get rid of any of the clues. Manuscript discovered. If investigators reach the clue threshold first, you discover what you believe to be the talisman's resting place and scramble to find the key before your adversaries find you. But to your surprise, inside is only an ancient manuscript. In either case, resolve the concealed keyword on each non-weakness cultist enemy not already in the shadows, as granted by Agenda 1A. Shuffle the encounter discard pile and the set-aside Umbral Harbinger and Emissary from Yugoth enemies into the encounter deck, and then you proceed to Act 2 setup. So yeah, on my botched run, where I messed up the rules and had to restart, thankfully, I got to a situation where there were 7 clues on the cultist side, and then my opponent, and then I ended up drawing the Wizard of the Order, which forced it to advance. And then all of the cultists that I was still dealing with, they went back into the shadows, and pretty much every location for this next map was filled with concealed cards. Pretty much everything that could go wrong went wrong. All right, so all that's been shuffled back in. All right, so Act 2 setup. Go ahead and set these aside, because I know. So you're supposed to remove this entirely, but it's better idea to go ahead, since it's digital, to just have, if you have the table space, just track it. Anyway, when you're instructed to do this, do it. Set each current location aside without discarding any cards or tokens at those locations. Those locations are not considered to be in play during Act 2, but will re-enter play later in the same state. Investigators are not defeated during this process. Shuffle the 7 Grand Bazaar locations and remove one from the game without looking at it. All right. Reveal a random token. It is a cultist. Find the diagram below that matches the revealed token. If none match, retry. So the only time it would not match would be with curses and blesses. Put the remaining 6 Grand Bazaar locations into play, arranged in a pattern of rows and columns according to the randomly chosen diagram. Note that one of these locations is designated as the entrance, and one is designated as East Gate. Move each investigator to the Grand Bazaar location marked as the entrance, and then shuffle together each of the concealed mini-cards on the 4 locations from Act 1 and divide them evenly as possible among the Bazaar locations in play. So I had 6 concealed cards and ended up spreading them. By the way, the one I did draw on my botched run was the auto fail, of course, and you end up getting this map where you pretty much have just a straight line. But this is the map we have instead. We have this one that actually is not too bad. So we're going to do this. So I believe it's like this. Yep, and then it's adjacency rules for connections, so we'll just do this now. Just to keep track of it. And then we are going to start at the east entrance, or not the east entrance, we're going to start at the entrance. Grand Bazaar, the bustling streets of the bazaar's domed interior are dense with stalls and traders selling all manner of goods, from jewelry and clothes to carpets and furniture. Somewhere in this labyrinthine market lies the key you and your enemies search for, but where? Okay, so 5 Shroud, 3 clues, Istanbul Bazaar, Lightning Bolt, Parlay, take control of 1 clue from a cultist enemy at this location, then return them to the shadows and resolve its concealed keyword, victory 1. Good times. All right. Let me check one thing real quick. All right, so a brief rewind. I did, on the first investigate check, I did go draw 0 versus on a 5 to 2 test, which means I succeeded by 3. So I actually didn't need to do that second test. I can do Antikythera just to get both clues. So that does save me an action. All right. Anyway, back to this. Let's go ahead and read this. Search for the talisman. According to the manuscript, the talisman was discovered somewhat recently by a third party and brought to the Grand Bazaar as a valuable item to be sold. You can't let that happen. Find the talisman before the cult does. If either the cult or investigators of the designated location designated as the East Gate possess the requisite number of clues as a group, you advance. Now, if the cults do beat you to the punch, it's not the end of the world. Despite how horrible I was doing on my botched run, I could have still turned it around. But like I said, I did make a mistake, unfortunately. and there was no way for me to actually rewind it properly. So, in any case, Ursula are 5 to 5 right now. I don't know what to do with this. We'll spin 3 to get out Grim Memoir. I will investigate with Grim Memoir. We'll go 7 to 5. We'll go 8 to 5 with Eureka. We pass. That was 8 to 5, minus 1 is 7 to 5, so I pass by 2. So I get to search top 3 from the Eureka. Glad I did that first. I will take the Grim Memoir. Oh, also, since I healed here, I should have gotten the card off of AJ because of the shifting. Alright, and then draw a card because of Grim Memoir. I hate you, game. Alright, I do get a clue here. And then I'm going to Pathfind move to this bizarre location. 2 Shroud, 1 Clue. Increase the difficulty to fight or evade each concealed minicard at this location by 2. So it'll be essentially a 4. I'll go ahead and use my ability with this to go 5 to 2. I will do Grim Memoir to go 7 to 2. Okay, I pass. I get a clue. And draw a card. Okay. That is everybody. Upkeep. Upkeep. Mythos. This goes away. Alright, yeah, compared to what I... Oh, wow. Got this guy. Got Red Glove Man to deal with now. And just in time for when I got rid of my weakness, that works actually pretty well. Mysterious Chanting, unfortunately, is going to get us another wonderful Acolyte. I am definitely taking an Acolyte. Flip this to a clue. And a decoy. Yeah, unfortunately, these locations are not great for this. We're just going to put these along the way. All right, investigation phase. Let's start with Jacqueline. Whew, how am I going to deal with you? Let's go ahead and do the parlay. Whispers the Doom. This will put us at 5 to 4. And I'll do a Promise of Power. And I'll use my ability. Alright, glad I did. Alright, so this brought me to 9 to 4. I have to get rid of the autofail. It's -3, -1. So that's going to be a total of -4. So I go 5 to 4 still. I do pass. I will do 3 damage to this guy and get rid of him. Holy crap. Alright. Give me 1 second, sorry. Okay. Next action, I'm actually going to go ahead and get out Arbiter of Fates at this point. Because that's super useful. I'll go ahead and use the Arcane Initiate to search top 3. Oh my god. I'll take the Deny Existence and try to get rid of this freaking weakness. And then I'm going to go ahead and move. To go help out here. Alright. Ursula. Let's go ahead and place this token. I'm going to put this guy down here. So I do need to get to the end to spend the clues, and I need 16 clues. I currently have, I think, 10. Yep, 10 clues. So I do need to move around a bit. I'm going to go ahead and use this opportunity to move down with a Pathfinder move. 3 Shroud, 2 clues. Action, investigate. If you succeed, instead of discovering clues, you may play a charm or relic from your asset from your hand, reducing its cost by 1 for each point you succeed by. Alright, I am going to go ahead and use some Wit and Green here. Search top 9. Got Segment of Onyx, perfect. Shuffle the deck, then I'll use my ability. I do have Red Clock active, so it's going to be 8 to 3. Yeah, I'll just go, how many deductions have we used? We used both. Okay, yeah, I'll just go, at this point I'll also, as a lightning bolt, go ahead and reveal top card. Put that there. Okay. So yeah, 8 to 3. So yeah, I'll just go 8 to 3 and leave it. We pass. I get to grab a clue here. Resolve this, and I can move for free. That was 9 to 3, by the way, because it's +1. So unfortunately, I passed by 6, which is not something I can do anything with Antikythera. Yeah, I'll go ahead and use the Elder Sign to move to this location. 2 Shroud, 2 clues. While you're at this location, treat the text box of each weapon asset you control as if it were blank except for traits. Alright, I will spend 1 to get out Segment of Onyx and get out Pendant of the Queen. I will use Pendant of the Queen to go ahead and grab a clue from this victory location. I am going to go ahead and spend 2 to get out a Artistic Inspiration. So how are we on clues? There's probably at least one more victory location we can play around with. Let's go ahead and investigate this location. I'm going to go 5 to 2. That is 4 to 2. So I do pass. I'll use Antikythera to get a resource and draw a card. And I'll investigate one more time. 5 to 2. We passed just barely. Thank you, Witten Green. Okay, that gets us up to 14 clues, which means we only need 2 more to actually go in advance if we need to. Alright, that is everybody. Enemy phase, enemies in the shadows and not doing anything. Upkeep. Rite of Seeking, upkeep. Witten Green. Mythos. Second Doom. Ancient Evils. I do have a ward. And I'll soak the horror damage. Fissures in the Dark. There is an enemy in the shadows. I'll let it attack me for 1 damage. Boink. Alright. Investigation phase. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do Pendant of the Queen. To grab a clue here. Also, as a lightning bolt, we'll go ahead and do Arcane Initiate. Search top 3. We'll happily take a Whispers of Doom. Also do AJ here. Okay. Then I'm going to place one of these and get a free move. We'll move here first to see what that's about. 4 Shroud, 2 clues. After you move to this location from a connected location, as a reaction, you can do Agility 4 to move again. After an enemy moves to this location via Hunter or Patrol, you resolve that keyword again. Victory 1. Alright, I'm going to stop here. I don't think... I'll go ahead and search anyway. I don't think there's anything in here. There's not. Alright, I'll go ahead and investigate here. Currently, we are 5 to 4. I will do a Grim Memoir to go 7 to 4. And we'll go 8 to 4 with Eureka. So that was 8 to 4. This will go 6 to 4. So I do pass. I get a clue. I will search top 3. Sorry, it should be top 3. I'll take the magnifying glass. Then shuffle, and then I draw a card and gain a resource because of Antikythera. Okay, I will fast out a magnifying glass. Sorry, that should. Oh, that was even a Pathfinder move. That was Red Clock move. All right. I will go ahead and investigate this. Oh, also, sorry. At the start of my turn, I should have put a Call of the Unknown here, which I've resolved already. All right. I'm going to go ahead and investigate Grim Memoir. This will be 8 to 4. I won't commit anything. We pass. We get a clue. I will go ahead and, at this point, I have plenty of things. All right, I'm going to go ahead and Pathfind move up to here. Grand Bazaar. The bustling streets of the bazaar's domed interior are dense with stalls and traders selling all manners. Oh, I already read the back of this. Never mind. Grand Bazaar. 3 shroud, 2 clues. After you expose a decoy at this location, move 1 clue from this location to the nearest cultist enemy. All right, so this is the east gate. We have, if the investigators at the location designated as the east gate possess the requisite number of clues, you automatically advance. You do not spend clues when you advance. Talisman discovered. If the investigators reach the clue threshold first, attach the twisted antiprism key to any investigator at east gate. Welcome to having a key. All right, stable side first. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Draw one of those cards. Shuffle the rest back into your deck. Flip this key to its unstable side. Twisted Antiprism, Talisman of Infinite Darkness. File 21 F30. Subject class red. Key is a trapezohedron-shaped crystal of unknown mineral, roughly 19 centimeters in length, impervious in both matter and light. Do not store in darkness under any circumstances. And then the shift for unstable side is the nearest investigator must place 1 doom on an asset they control, an encounter card, or at their location or the current agenda. Then, if an investigator shifts this key, it flips. Okay, so we got that. Next. Revealed each concealed mini card in play. For each enemy's mini card, move that enemy from the shadows to that location. Sorry, I'm reading this again. Also, if the cult had reached the clue threshold first, a cultist would actually have the key, and you would have to get it back from them. Reveal each concealed mini card in play. For each enemy, move that enemy from the shadows to that location. Okay, so this one is a decoy. This one is an acolyte. Put the locations from Act 1 that were previously set aside back into play. Hagia Sophia to the left of the entrance to the Grand Bazaar. These are now connected. These 2 connections are now connected. Put Galata docks into play. If the cult reached the clue threshold first, for every 2 clues more clues they had than the investigators, move the cultist enemy with the twisted antiprism once toward Galata docks. Each investigator and cultist enemy loses each of their clues. Flip the unveiling story card over to its other side, removing all clues from it. Advance the act and agenda deck directly to the chase. It is both the current act and current agenda. So no more doom, no more eclipses. The unsealing, each non-weakness enemy gains Hunter, Prey, Investigator with the Twisted Antiprism. If the Twisted Antiprism is attached to that enemy, instead gains Patrol Galata docks. When 1 or more doom would be placed on an enemy, instead moves and attacks as if it were the enemy phase without exhausting. After a non-weakness enemy attacks the investigator with the antiprism, attach the antiprism to that enemy, unstable side face up, then that enemy shifts it. After you evade or defeat the enemy with the twisted antiprism, take control of the twisted antiprism, attaching it to your investigator. Okay, and then we get this. The chase. 3 doom. Get this thing out of here. If an investigator with the twisted antiprism is at Galata docks, you can proceed to resolution 1, and if the enemy gets there, it's resolution 6. All right, get rid of all clues. Yeah, so if I hadn't have messed up the rules, I think what would have happened since I was on the worst map is it would have actually, the guy with the key would have actually, would it go to, let's see, it would, Yeah, attached to the cultist with the most clues. So I would be able to put, yeah, I would have been able to put on the east gate, and then it would have moved about 3 times and probably end up on top of Jacqueline. So would have been somewhat okay, but it will still been messy because then all the enemies would be on the board. All right. So with all that said and done, we got that going for us. It is still Ursula's turn. So let's do something about that. I'm going to go ahead and move down to here. I am going to go ahead, I will get engaged by this guy. I will activate this ability here, this reaction effect. So I'm right now 4-4. This is my second action. I'm going to go ahead and shift the Twisted Antiprism. Search top 3. I'm going to grab this plan of action. And since I shifted, I get to grab the 2 cards that are underneath AJ. So right now I am 4-4. We'll go 6-4. 7-4. Yeah, we'll just go 7-4. All right, we pass. And that lets me move to, I can move again. That doesn't take an action, so it doesn't provoke. And then I'm going to evade the Acolyte and go 4-2. And pass. Like that. All right. Let's go ahead and Jacqueline. Let's I don't need to worry about the seeing shadows now. I'll attack with the Breath of the Sleeper. And I'll use my ability. Actually, I'll use Arbiter of Fates. Okay, I'll get rid of the tablets and take the -2, which is enough to kill this guy. And my last 2 actions, I'm going to go ahead and gain a resource and then spend those resources to... Actually, no, I'll gain a resource and then draw a card. I was thinking about reloading the Breath of the Sleeper with a fresh one, but I also want to have Whispers of Doom ready. All right. As for the location, Galata Docks, you can only enter the docks from Galata. As an additional cost for you to do so, you must discard any combination of cards from your hand or asset from your play area with at least 3 matching skill icons. The Galata Bridge spans over Golden Horn, separating the piers from the rest of the city. So one thing to note about this location is it is a victory location. So if you want to get the victory, you'll need to get someone without the item over there, which could be a little hard to do. All right, upkeep. At this point, I will get rid of a Eyes of the Dreamer. And then over here, Cryptic Research, Mythos, First Doom. Let's go to town. All right. Sinister Aspirant. So nothing has concealed anymore, so this just directly engages me. And then, so this one, Light of the Void. Out of the Void, I do have to resolve this. Place 1 Doom on a cultist enemy and play with the highest evade, or take 1 damage, 1 horror. And since this is Act 3, I have to resolve it twice. So with that in mind, I'm just going to take 2 damage and 2 horror. I think that's going to be the plan. You can take... I mean, at this point, I'll let Witten Green die. And then I will take a horror here and a damage here. Okay, investigation phase. All right, I'm going to go ahead and attack the Sinister Aspirant using Arbiter of Fates, and I'm going to go ahead and use all 3 charges. So I'll be drawing 6 tokens. All right. So what I can do here is I'm going to ignore the Elder Sign and a +1 with my ability. Then I'm going to take a actually, sorry, I'll take the Elder Sign and +1. I'll take a -1 and then ignore the rest. So since I'm ignoring an Elder Sign, I do draw a card. And then since I ignored a -1 and there's a copy that, or sorry, I'm ignoring a -1 and selecting a -1, I do 3 damage, which will kill this guy. Fantastic. All right. Next, I'm going to go ahead and spin 3 to replace Breath of the Sleeper with a fresh one. And then I'm going to move. All right. Call of the Unknown. I'm going to go ahead and put all the way at Hagia Sophia. I'll go ahead and place this. I am going to go ahead and spin that action to get another Wit and Green out. I'm then going to go ahead and put this down. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and use Pin to the Queen to teleport to here. And this is just so I can get these back into the deck. And then I will investigate this location. We'll go 6 to 2. I passed by 1, but that doesn't really matter too much. I successfully investigated this location. So that was, yeah, that was 3 to 1, so that was just passing by 1. All right. I'll Pathfind move down to here, then move to here, and then I'm going to draw a card, and then spend 1 to get that out. All right. Enemy phase upkeep. I will get rid of an Arcane Initiate. Second Doom. Wizard of the Order. This guy's going to inevitably get a Doom. And Emissary from Yugoth. Each non-weakness enemy gets Hunter. Which includes this guy, because he's a non-weakness enemy. Okie dokie. So that happened. Well, I have some solutions for this. Oh, actually, no, he does still concealed. He is still concealed. Okay, yeah, this guy is a concealed enemy. No questions asked. So, Emissary Yugoth with 2 concealeds. Which is fine by me. So, put 1 here, put 1 here, put 1 here. Okay. And investigation phase. Okay. We can make this work. And then see, after a non-weakness enemy attacks you, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, he still gets concealed because that doesn't get removed, as far as I know. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start with Ursula. As a forced effect, I'll go ahead and grab all these. I will put the Call of the Unknown down here. Then I'm going to, as a lightning bolt, spin 3. and expose a mini card. Okay, that is a decoy. I'm then going to go ahead and I'll investigate this location, go 6-3. Oh, also, sorry, I forgot this part. It instead moves and attacks as if it were the enemy phase. So I do get attacked by this guy. He hits me for 1 damage. Anyway, back to what I was doing. 6-3. I do pass. It's a decoy. I will use the Elder Sign to move to here, and then use my ability to investigate. Again, will be 6-3. We pass just barely. Oh, also, the Elder Sign was +1. That put me at 7-3, so I was beating it by 4. So I will go ahead and use this to gain a resource and draw a card. Okay. In any case, I will succeed here. Get the Emissary Yugoth. This gets removed. He gets engaged with me. This gets resolved. And I'm going to go ahead and do AJ's effect and put this face down. And then I'm going to go ahead and shift this. I have to place a Doom on an asset I control. I'll put it on one of these Segment of Onyxes. And then I'll get the card from AJ. I will spend 2 resources to play the remaining 2 Segment of Onyxes, which will get this one removed along with its Doom. Replace it with Pendant of the Queen. And then think we're in slightly better shape. I'm going to go ahead and use a charge of Pendant of the Queen just to teleport over here. And then I'm going to, as a second action, try to evade this guy. We'll go 4-3. We'll go 5-3. We succeed. I do get to draw a card because of Plan of Action. This is in Limbo, I believe. I do take 1 horror. But you are now evaded. And then I will Pathfind in regular move. Back down to here. Oops, sorry, wrong character. I'm being pretty greedy here. I'm just trying to get the extra victory. But at this point, we kind of have control of the battle. So, Jacqueline, I'm going to go ahead and search top 3. I will take the Voice of Ra. I will go ahead and use Arbiter of Fates and Shriveling. Will be 7-4. I will cancel the Elder Sign, so I draw a card. Do 2 damage to kill you. I'm going to gain a resource. Actually, no, I will play Voice of Ra, which will get me 1 resource and reveal 3 tokens. Get 2 more resources. And then I'm going to go ahead and spend 3 resources to do a Whispers of Doom on this Emissary of Yugoth. This will be a 5-4 test. I'll do Promise of Power with this, and I will use my ability with it. I do pass. He is now instantly killed, like so. Okay, getting there. So I'm trying to get Jacqueline over here, but we're constantly getting bogged down. All right, well, upkeep phase. Finally got our Holy Rosary. Mythos, we advance. Rush for the key. In the dark light of an alien moon, your enemies work tirelessly to escape with the talisman in their possession. Each enemy in play moves and attacks as if it were the enemy phase without exhausting. If there are fewer enemies in play than the number of investigators in player order, discard cards from the top of the deck until a cultist enemy is discarded and draw it. Repeat it until there are equal numbers. Flip this card back over. Fortunately, this thing is not a cultist. So we're not going to get the other enemy. That's fine. You. And you. He does start with a Doom, which means he's going to punch me. For 1. Alright, investigation phase. Oh, actually, since he punched me, he does get control of this thing. That's a little annoying. Alright. Alright, Jacqueline. Oh, actually, I need to do bad cards now. Costed, if there are no cultist enemy, take. Alright, otherwise find the cultist enemy nearest to you, place 1 Doom on him, and then he hits me. Okay, he's going to punch me for 1, which will soak, and then I have to do a test. 2 to 2. I fail. I'll go ahead and do a deny existence to deal with the damage. Another acolytes, which means I get punched for 1. Alright. I'm at least engaged with this guy. So yeah, after... Oh, he does also shift it. I have to place a Doom on an asset I control, which is fine. I'll just put it on pin to the queen. Alright. Okie dokie. So, let's get to work here. I'm going to start with Jacqueline. Search top 3. No, that's a spell. I'll take it. Alright, I am going to go ahead and do Uncage the Soul. I'll pick a spell from my discard. And pick Whispers of Doom. And then I'm going to deal with you. I'm currently 5 to 4. We'll go 6 to 4. Seven to 4. Arbiter of Fates. Alright, skulls are -3 now, but that's okay. I'm going to cancel all of, just take the 0, and that'll do insta-kill for him. Okay. Then I'm going to, move twice to get myself to here. And do our best. Okay. Okie dokie. So what we're going to do here with Ursula, I'm going to go ahead and use Pin to the Queen to auto-evade this Acolyte. Then I'm going to... Oh, sorry, I forgot to add this thing. Then I'm going to go ahead and try punching this regular Acolyte. So thanks to the red clock, I'm right now 4 to 3. Yeah, 4 to 3, 5 to 3. And we'll go ahead and use Jacqueline's ability. So 5 to 3, good luck. Okay, we'll take the 0, kill this guy, get control of this again. Alright. That was 5 to 3 and I got a 0, so Antikythera, I'll get a resource and draw a card. Oh, also I need to pick a place to go with this, so I'm going to go ahead and go with there. I'm going to go ahead and move, or Pathfind move over to here. I'll investigate this location. It'll be 6 to 3. At this point I may as well go 8-3. Pass. Get a card. Get rid of this. And then my remaining actions, I'm just going to gain a bunch of resources. Alright. Little by little, I'm chipping away at this. Like I said, I could easily win right now. I just want to see if I can get the victory here, but it is difficult. Enemy phase, this guy will eventually re-engage. Upkeep. At this point, deduction doesn't matter. Mythos, we're at second doom thanks to the Pin of the Queen. Another one of you assholes. And a shadowed. Otherwise, put a cultist. Find the cultist enemy nearest to you. Put a doom on him and do things with them. Got it. So we'll put a doom on this guy, which he's just going to punch Jacqueline, which will get soaked. And then I will go 4-3. We'll go 5-3. And we'll take 2 horror. Okay. Investigation phase. As a lightning bolt, we'll do Pin to the Queen to auto-evade this jerk. And then for Jacqueline's turn, I'm going to go ahead and search top 3. I will attempt to punch this guy with a Breath of the Sleeper using Arbiter of Fates. I'll take the cultist, and I will put a doom on him and let him punch me to make it a -1 so I can actually pass and kill it. Alright. Then I'm going to move. And then I'm going to move. So I have to discard cards of assets matching 3 matching skill icons. So I will pick Uncage the Soul, which has a wild and a willpower. And you know what? I'll get rid of Deny Existence as well. Fire Shroud, 2 clues. You can only enter Galata docks from Galata. As an additional cost for you to do so, you must discard any combination from your... Yeah, so you have to still do the same thing. With the Foundation's travel documents, you should be able to charter a ship out of the city with ease. Alright, Ursula. I'm kind of okay with you doing whatever with this now. So, what we're going to go ahead and do I'm going to go ahead and do AJ. And I'm also going to go ahead and do Cryptic Research. Oh, also, I should place one of these. I will also draw a card. And draw a card. Oh, let me rewind. Alright, so yeah, I forgot to actually reshuffle these back in first. So let's do that first. Shuffle. Alright, AJ first. Then Cryptic Research. Okay. I will spend 1 to get out the Segment of Onyx. I'll then draw a card. Draw a card. And draw a card. Oh, and we'll put you there. Okay. Oh, actually, no, I can't take multiple draw actions. Never mind. Instead, I will spin 2 to replace Wit and Green with a medical student, heal damage, then heal this off, then draw a card. That should be fine. Yep, that works. Okay, my apologies for those mistakes. Okay, enemy phase, this guy's gonna go there. Upkeep. Upkeep. Mythos, second doom again. I will take 2 damage. One of it will get soaked. I will also take 2 damage. We'll kill the medical student. Investigation phase. Okay. Jacqueline. You have a mission. I'm going to spend 4. I'm going to replace my Shriveling with a Rite of Seeking. Level 2 version. I'm then going to go ahead and try to investigate this location with Arbiter of Fates. With Rite of Seeking. So this will put us at 7 to 5. I'm committing Shriveling to go 8 to 5. Alright, I'll take the +1. I get both clues here. Oh, I did forget to do one thing here. This should have done 2 horror to me. And get shuffled back in, and then I would have drawn again. There you go. Alright, I got the 2 clues here. We're good to go. Ursula, place this, get the extra action, Pathfind move. We will discard a Working a Hunch and a Crack the Case. That is 3 matching icons to go down here, and we advance. Resolution 1. Yeah, if we had just raced to the end, it would have been a lot easier, but I definitely wanted as much victory as possible, because we're definitely hitting the end game at this point. So, Resolution 1. Once you and AJ are safely out of the city, you seal the talisman back in its case, speaking the proper words to contain its power. As you do, the uncanny eclipse looming over the city comes to a swift end. We are working with her, so it'll be Resolution 3. AJ breathes an unsure sigh, worry still etched in her expression. Well, in case they saw me, I should probably leave Istanbul for a short while. I'll have to put in a leave of absence at the museum. In the meantime, she turns to face you, eyebrow raised, as for our agreement. We are working with her, we're not deceiving her, so Resolution 4. You hand over the talisman, trusting that AJ will keep it safe in her possession, as promised. She breathes a sigh of relief as she stores it safely in our pack. Thank you for trusting me, she says. I'll keep it on my person at all times. You take a moment to look out over the sea and appreciate the beauty and the gentle waves, glimmering with the reflection of the now shining sun. Finally, you ask AJ where she will go now that her position in Istanbul is compromised. There's a place where the coterie meets in secret to go over important happenings. We do not consort often, but I believe these events warrant a caucus. I will have to call the rest to assemble. She sneaks a furtive glance in your direction. Perhaps when that time comes, we will meet again. As you leave Istanbul behind, you allow yourself a bit of hope. We get victory X. So we have 6 victory, thanks to Emissary of Yugoth. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we have 5 victory locations, and then 1 monster. So 6, which will get us 7 experience for Jacqueline. Fine, thanks to the great work. And it's going to get Ursula. Actually, sorry, we forgot the plus. When I messed up the rules, when I loaded my save, I actually forgot to add the 1 experience for the adding the tablet. So 7 experience to this for Jacqueline will bring her up to 9, and then Ursula is going to get 9 experience, or she's going to get 8 experience, also bring her up to 9. Alright, I'll spend that experience in a bit. Record that AJ trusts the cell. Ejay Shaheen is the bearer of the Twisted Interprism. Update the campaign log accordingly. Yep, okay. And then mark 3 time, which will be boop, boop, boop. And we get to resolve that symbol. So we'll do that now. Zeta, you return to your hotel after a long day of travel and investigation, only to find your room in shambles. A grim feeling sprouts in your gut. Someone has clearly turned your room upside down in search for something. You're pretty sure you know what. You rush to the safe where you have been storing the paradimensional artifacts you aren't carrying on your person. To your horror, it is empty apart from a single red card. Reaching out to Foundation contacts, you believe you have tracked the culprit to be one of the 4 likely coterie sanctums. Perhaps if you're quick, you can recover what was stolen from you. Check the keys in the campaign log and find each of the keys whose bearer is an investigator. Choose 1 at random, and 2 instead if you have 5 or more under control. Gather each of the enemies in the coterie you haven't seen the last of, and they become the bearer. So we only have one person that we haven't seen the last of, which is the Red Glove Man. And we have these 2 keys. So I'm going to hit shuffle once and take whatever's on top. All right, it's going to be the Blossom. So the last Blossom is now with the Red Glove Man. I was hoping it would be the Eye of Ravens, but that's okay. If it weren't for Stupor, I would be happy with this result. Update the key section, got it. In Central Asia, Americas, and North Atlantic sections of the campaign log, find Kabul, Quito, San Juan, and Javik. In each of these spots, write 14C. You are now allowed to travel to these locations whenever you embark. So we got a few locations to go through. So San Juan. And Kabul. So now when we go to these locations, we can try to hopefully find the Red Glove Man and try to get our missing key back. I had pretty bad luck on this on my personal run. There is some benefits of chasing him down even if you do have bad luck, but if you want to be someone that wants to actually do the scenarios instead, it does eat up a lot of time trying to go to all these locations. And that's partially why I held off on getting the artifact, the key that's at Ybor City, because that would have been a potential key that could have been stolen. And that's a key I definitely want to have in my possession and not have stolen. So, the more you know. All right, so with that all resolved, let's go ahead and spend XP, BRB. All right, so I did make a mistake due to my mulligan. I did forget to add the one resource I was supposed to start with, additional resource I was supposed to start with for going through Rome, but I completely forgot about it, but it was to my detriment, unfortunately. So it is what it is. Anyway, 9 experience on Jacqueline. This will probably help shore up pretty much everything she could possibly need at this point. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my remaining Deny Existence to level 5, which will cost 2, thanks to Arcane Research and Down to Rabbit Hole, so that's 2. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade a Ward Protection level 0 to level 5, which will cost 4. So that is a total of 6 XP. And then I'm going to upgrade a Ward Protection level 2 to also level 5, which should be 3 XP, for a total of 9. So making sure I did that right. So 4, 6, yeah, 4, 2, that's 2 experience, that's 4 experience, that's 6, and then this is 3 experience, so that's 9 in total. And that pretty much upgrades just about all of our spells besides Rite of Seeking and Shrivelings, which I'll probably be doing through the rest of this. Then probably picking up things like Observed. But yeah, I do want the level 5 Ward of Protections, because that actually works against enemies, and preventing an enemy from just flat out spawning is definitely a plus. As for Ursula, hers is going to be pretty straightforward. I definitely wanted all that extra XP because I definitely wanted to get the gold pocket watch, because that extra turn is really important. So I'm replacing Eureka with a gold pocket watch. It's exceptional, so it costs 8. And then with the remaining experience, I'm going to go ahead and replace my other Eureka with a Survey the Area. It's practice cards, so they'll hopefully help with our practice makes perfect, but also it gives us agility icons, which we definitely need for evasion. So with that, that is everything on that front. So all that's taken care of. We are at 22 time now, and it's time to start. Well, actually, I guess my original plan was to go to Alexandria next. So we'll go to Alexandria next. I don't know how it's going to go. I've never done this one. It'll take only one time block to get here. And well, we're in pretty good shape. So Jacqueline's essentially good to go at this point. She's kind of got everything upgraded that she needed to get upgraded. Ursula, on the other hand, she has plenty of things she still needs to upgrade. Upgrading deductions, upgrading perceptions would definitely be a plus. Getting another Survey the Area would also be nice. And then from there, I can kind of just do whatever. So hopefully that'll shore her up and get her ready for the end game. Again, apologies for all the mistakes I made. This one was definitely a bit more frustrating than I expected. It's honestly not too bad even if you're losing the race, because like I mentioned, all you have to do is essentially intercept the cultist before it reaches you. And as far as I can tell, all of them don't have aloof. So essentially, if you're in the way, they're just going to run into you anyway, and then you can kind of just do whatever. All right, so with all that said and done, I'm going to go do something else. So I am the Restior. This was Arkham Horror the card game, doing the Scarlet Keys. We just did Dealings in the Dark. Next, we will be doing Alexandria, which is Dogs of War, which I've never done before. So see you next time.